I want to throw light on life, life as a whole, and the way we look at life, and the way we perceive life, and the way we think about life. I think a lot of us, the reason why we are struggling in our day to day lives is because the way we look at things, the way we perceive things. And what happened is, I believe the reason why we are struggling with this life is because we have not come to a place to truly understand our true potential on this earth. God said He has a plan and a purpose for our lives, and His plan is for us to succeed. And so, because of that, God have actually pulled in our DNA every imaginable thing for us to succeed in this life. But the reason why it's kind of hard for us to achieve this thing is simply because we are not going back to the owner manual, which is God original plan and purpose for our lives. But instead, we are relying on our own understanding. And when we rely on our own understanding, that what the problem is, because you can't rely on your own understanding when you don't understand exactly where you are. Because He said He has a plan and a purpose. Only God has the plan and a purpose for your life, not you. Okay? So we are living in fulfillment of God's plan and purpose for our lives. So the only way we can understand the very depth of this life is by going back to the owner manual, which is God's words and God's original plan and purpose for our lives. So I see us struggling with this life because we actually going outside of the original plan that God have already created for us. Because He's the architect and the engineer of our lives. So look at your life like you building a house, and you the architect have already designed a plan for you and take it and give it to the engineer and give it to the contractor or the construction worker. And what happened is he goes exactly with that plan that is being given to him by the engineer. So what happened is that if he went outside of the plan that has been presented to him, then that is not the plan. You see what I'm saying? Then that is not the plan. Because God has His original plan for our lives. And what we're struggling with is when we decide to go outside of those original plans that God has for our life. Because He said, I have a plan and a purpose for your life. My plan is for you to prosper, not to harm you. So why are we going through all these situations in our lives? It's because we have actually deviated from the original plan concerning our lives. So let's take these things into perspective. Find ourselves in a relationship. We'll find ourselves in a relationship today. And what happened is that the original plan for relationships, we have actually fallen out of the original plans that God had for us pertaining relationships. Now, this is how I want you guys to approach a relationship, okay? Especially for our sisters. Relationship is like a business proposal, okay? That's it. You got your company. Your company is capable enough of decorating, okay? It's what you do. You do decoration, you do catering or whatever. And now I have my company, a man come in with his company and tell you say that I need you to come and decorate my house. Okay? That's your job. You come, you decorate, you get paid, right? Now, what happened during that process of doing the decoration? You are decorating that place based on the original design that the owner of the house already have in mind. You work along with him. You work along with his colors. You work along with his ideas that he's going to present to you. You're now going to bring those ideas into fruition. So one will say, okay, what is he talking about? What I'm talking about, when you find yourself in a relationship as a woman, your duty is not to overtake the relationship. No. Your duty is not to sustain or maintain the relationship. No. Because the idea of relationship is not your thing. Remember, you came in to help him to design his house. You get what I'm saying? But most of the time, because our sisters are so passionate, they come in, instead of designing the house, they want to take over the house. You see what's happening? Remember your original plan. Your plan is to come in and design. And when other people come in the house, they're like, wow, he has a beautiful house. But then nobody think about who actually designed that. You get what I'm saying? Nobody thinks about who did the design. But you have done a marvelous work. And everybody else is looking at it and appreciating it. That's the work of a woman in the life of a man. A woman comes in the life of a man because when I'm saying that, too many women continue to get hurt on a daily basis. Too many women continue to get hurt all the time. So what I'm saying here is that we need to find a solution to these problems. And the only way we can find a solution to the problem is when we get to understand what the problems are. And it's simple. The problem is there, and the solution is with us. The way we look at it, the way we approached it, is what's going to make the difference. The way we approach the situation, the way we look at the situation, is what's going to make the difference. So, what a woman needs to understand is simple. That when you get into a relationship, your duty is to help a man to succeed. But a lot of you guys get into relationship with people who have nothing for you to help them with. Then you decide to pick on or take on that burden. And when you continue, when you pick up that burden, you become a different person because you just took on a different role other than your original role for your life. Anything that we do outside of the plan that God actually have in store for us is when we start to malfunction. So it's one was, okay, what do you mean by that? If you got your television and let's say press the power button and you go and press the on button or press the power button, you go and press another button, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And when you keep on pressing different buttons, you may send the wrong code to your television or send the wrong code to your device, and your device may start to malfunction. So what's happening in our relationship is simple because what we were actually designed and created for, we refuse to do those things, so we start to malfunction. And what's happening in our relationships today, we are malfunctioning in our relationship and we're thinking that we can go through with it. And the moment you start to malfunction, you have to be reprogrammed and recalibrated. And that takes process. So why put yourself through all that situation? You don't have to go through all the situation. No, that's not your original plan. Stick to the original plan. Okay? You only come in when there is something. Okay? Because your duty is to help. Your duty is to push. So you stay in the back and this person going to go in the full front. So that person must have something to present in order for you to work with it. But a lot of you guys get into relationship with no blueprint. So because there's no blueprint, you start to create something. And that's what the problem comes from. Don't create anything. It's not your duty. It's not your job. It's not your place to create. So before you get into a relationship, you need to ask for the blueprint. That's the reason why the Bible said a man is a dreamer and he's an architect of his dreams. So your duty is to come to help him achieve those dreams and aspirations. And to my sisters, I just want you guys to understand when it comes to relationship with a man, you guys have everything to lose. You just don't know it, but you have everything to lose in a relationship. Everything. Everything. You lost your name. You lost your identity. You sacrifice everything. You sacrifice everything. All because you're going to be in a relationship with him. So always tell yourself that you have something to lose. Most of us men have nothing to lose in a relationship because it's his idea. It's his idea. He come and bring you on board and try to convince you and tell you, say, I need you to help me. I need your expertise. That's how a woman needs to look at it. Okay? When a man come around, you forget about all that, baby, I love you, and all that kind of stuff. His intention, and which of course a lot of us men, we just don't want to say it, but our primary objective, a man, is to come and tell you that he needs your help. He needs your expertise to help him succeed and achieve his dreams and aspirations. So as I leave, I just want to let you know that you have everything to lose in a relationship. So now, if you have everything to lose in a relationship, then what you need to do in a relationship is to understand exactly what you're getting into before you get into it. Because if you don't do it, at the end of the day, you now going to take on the burden and responsibility of the relationships. And when you do that, because you were never wired and programmed for that, you start to malfunction. Your hard drive start to crash and everything else, and lost all those pressure moments, and you start to build some unnecessary information in your life and on your memories, and you don't deserve it. So I came to jog this morning, and I just decided to share this with you guys. So until then, you guys have a wonderful and lovely day. Bye-bye.